Just like Immerse did. Right this way. He's like, where do I go? Where did John Leon go?
Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, to get the sun back in the sky. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Light a rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose, oh, won't you be mine? Light a rose, oh, light a rose, oh, light a rose.
Dream of now, dream of then, dream of our love song that might have been. Do I love you? Oh yes, I love you.
Love you, buddy. Okay. All right. Take a half step forward for a little more space for her. All right. Begin walking around him. Okay. Okay. That's one. Continue. That's two. 3. Stop. Okay. Take a half step forward. Andy, your turn. 1. 2. Come around. Stop when you face her. Take hands. And 1 together. Perfect. Okay. Keep her hand. Step under the chuppah. Bruchim habayim b'shem Adonai, berachnuchem mi beit Adonai. Blessed are you who have come here in the name of God. We bless you on this sacred day. May the source of power, blessing, and glory bless these loving companions. We are all here today, Samantha and Andy, because of you. We have come to celebrate with you and to rejoice in the loving spirit which you create when you are together. We hope that in your home there will be peace and great joy and also much courage. May you find the courage to affirm one another and in gentle trust to unfold to each other your deepest selves, your strength and your vulnerability, your yearning and your pain, and your most tender love. And we pray for you as well, not that you may be happy ever after. Rather, we who care for you pray that you may be granted a generous measure of blessing. In the years opening up before you, may there be moments like this one when all who are touched by your lives are filled with hope. May the years be kind to you, and may the sweet goodness you already know grow deeper and stronger with the passing of time. Andy, Samantha, you know, as we move into our ceremony together, there are many rituals involved. The wonderful symbols that Jewish tradition brings, but also that we've come to know as part of the wedding ceremony. And so I am honored to stand here, of course, Andy, with your mom, as we act as officiants for this moment together. May it truly be a moment of sweetness that we remember for many years to come. The symbols, of course, begin almost immediately as we watch you each walk circles around each other. This is an old tradition. It used to be that a groom would walk around his bride 7 times. Or the bride would walk around the groom 7 times. I'll get that right. The bride would walk around the groom 7 times, indicating that her world would now revolve around her groom. But we watched as each of you walked circles, and then you walked one together. A very fitting symbol for the world we live in. Not just the fact that you carve out this space for yourselves, but there may be a wholeness like a circle that you find as you move forward into wedded life. So now we have a second symbol. For twice in our ceremony, you'll have the opportunity to sip from a cup of wine. Now, each cup, of course, brings different symbolism. The first one is said to be the cup of the individual. It represents the gifts that you as an individual bring to this union. And so in that spirit, I asked each of you to bring your own cup representing you. I have here in my hand a cup that reads, Best of the Best Aventura Store of the Year, Bloomingdale's. Samantha, I think this is yours.
Actually,
No? And then on the second one, the cup I hold has the wonderful logo for Taco Bell. Yo quiero Taco Bell. So I'm going to ask each of you to hold this cup. And in a moment, I'll pronounce the traditional blessing. And the idea is the sweetness that you take today, the sweetness of the wine that you drink. May it be a symbol again of the sweetness that each of you brings, whether at Taco Bell or at Bloomingdale's, but the sweetness that you bring to this wonderful marriage. As I pronounce the blessing, each of you please go ahead and take a sip. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. These words say, praise are you, our God, creator of the fruit of the vine.
So I'm going to ask you to say the wedding vows together. Will you please face each other? Andrew, do you take this woman to be your lawful wedded wife, to have and to hold, richer and in poorer, in good times and bad times, in sickness and in health? If you do, please say, I do.
I do.
Samantha, do you take Andrew to be your lawful wedded husband in good times and in bad times, in good health and in bad health, for richer and for poorer? If you do, say, I do.
I do.
Thank you. You are man and wife in the eyes of the state.
The Jewish people are a little more demanding than that. But in that same spirit of exchanging words of vows, I also now hold in my hand the rings that each of you will wear. That's also an old tradition. It is said that in old days, a groom would be required to present something to his bride of value, an indication that he indeed intends to enter into marriage with her. So, I have the rings. Andy, I'm going to ask you to take this ring that Sam will wear. And I want you to place it on her right forefinger, up to the knuckle. There you go. It is said that we place the ring on the forefinger, for it is the quickest and closest place to the heart, the vein that goes right to the heart. So now, Andy, I'll ask you to look at her and to repeat after me. Here we go. Hebrew first. Ani
Ani
lidodi
lidodi
vidodi
vidodi
li.
li.
With this ring,
With this ring,
be consecrated to me
be consecrated to me
as my wife.
as my wife.
Sam, you can move the ring to your ring finger.
And
Yep,
move the ring
yep,
over.
She can move it. Yep, she moves it. There you go. Now, of course, in Jewish tradition, it would just fall to the groom. But in our modern world, we know that it is a partnership, an equal partnership. So, Sam, I have for you the ring that Andy will wear. I'm going to ask you to take that ring as well. Place it on his right forefinger, up to the knuckle. And if you hold his hand and look at him and repeat after me. Ani
Ani
lidodi
lidodi
vidodi
vidodi
li.
li.
With this ring,
With this ring,
be consecrated to me
be consecrated to me
as my husband.
as my husband.
Beautiful. We talk. You keep holding hands. Andy and Samantha, it is truly an honor to stand before the two of you at this sacred moment as we celebrate your love together. knowing that some of your groomsmen were going to sing a piece from The Music Man. There was a lot of that show, a favorite in my household. A lot of that show was running through my mind. A quote came to mind where Harold Hill says, "I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering." And today very much is worth remembering. For the friends, the family, all of us who are gathered here, because of you, because of the two of you and this journey that has brought you together to this place, to this time, in celebrating your love, your marriage together. Samantha, it is such a joy to stand here after the many years that I've known you and your family. I think if I were to close my eyes, I could still hear your voice filling the sanctuary at Temple Bethel with song. And to know that the gift that you have given our community, certainly the gift of your voice, singing at High Holy Days. But even more than that, as I think about the years that I've known you, the years certainly you sang at High Holy Days, and then heading off to study musical theater and vocals in Manhattan, and then having the joy of watching you in action at Engelman Theater. As much as I appreciate the talent, I equally appreciate the compassion, the caring, the beautiful smile that you bring everywhere you go. And so please know that for me, it is a joy to share this moment and to see this beautiful person standing before me as she has found the one that she will now travel through life into a wonderful future.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. I want to welcome everyone here. I'm playing the dual role of mom and retired judge today. And I thought it would be, first of all, wise to thank you for coming so far. Rabbi, thank you for coming all the way from Long Island. You've known Sam forever, and it's really so special for her that you are here today. Thank you so much. And we've got other folks here from Virginia, North Carolina, New York, Northern California, all over. And thank you all so much for coming to this celebration. I know it means a lot to Andy and Sam. But I thought I would share with you a bit of history about these two to help you understand just what soulmates they really are. Those of you who know Andy well know that he is very rarely at a loss for words. This was apparent early on. I remember a day when Andy was maybe 3, and I was in the kitchen with Scott, and I just said off the top of my head, I just don't remember life before Andy. And a little voice quipped, "Me either." and that sort of set the tone for someone who's ready with words. And when Andy was in preschool and also in grammar school, Scott and I referred to him as the mayor. Because whether it was the preschool parents or the grammar school teachers or the kids in the other grades, Andy would work the room. We'd go to a school function and we'd watch him. And it was a politician arriving at the 2nd grade. And we discovered that he didn't just cultivate fans among his friends. He cultivated fans among the kids in the other grades. He didn't just talk to the parents of the kids he knew. He talked to all the parents. And he didn't just talk to the teacher he had each year. We discovered that the teachers throughout the school had had conversations with Andy. And we learned this because we would be accosted, Scott and I, wherever we met. "Oh, I talked to your son, Andrew. It was such a nice conversation, so polite, so well-mannered, and so engaging," and so on. And we're thinking, yeah, the mayor. Yes, the mayor made us stop here. But he was building fans. He was building fans along the way, grown-ups and kids. And so when he made the fairly minor step to center stage in performances gradually through school, he began to develop an even larger fan club. And I know many of you who are here came to his performances in high school, where, of course, he did play the con man, the music man, typecasts. Perfect casting, I must say. But unbeknownst to Andy, there was someone far away on an island, Long Island, who was pursuing a very similar track. There was a girl with a beautiful soprano voice who was not only the top in her class academically, right at the top, but was also that girl who could really sing and dance and perform, and that girl who everyone adored. And we have here today not only high school friends from the island, but their parents. And so both of them, in their own worlds, were building fan clubs. As fate would have it, they both applied to and were admitted to NYU, the Steinhardt School of Music, where they were in exactly the same program. Freshman year, Steinhardt invites the parents in Parents' Weekend to see a performance, and the performance was basically a string of solo performances from each of the students in the class. And of course, after the performances, I asked Andy, who's rarely at a loss for words and who is a very tough grader when it comes to movies, other performers, most anything that he encounters. I asked him, well, what did you think of the other students who performed? And he said, with that slightly aloof and diffident expression, well, there was that one girl. Well, that one girl was the standout in that particular group of solos. I mean, she was absolutely a knockout, singing from the heart with a lilting soprano voice. I mean, she was head and shoulders above the other performers and immediately captured our hearts. So the next thing I learned was that that one girl seemed to be doing everything with Andy. They seemed to be studying together. They seemed to be practicing together, their voice. They seemed to be going to performances together. And as a parent, of course, the question when one hears the name over and over is, well, is she your girlfriend, you know? And the answer was a very firm no. And let me give you a little perspective on this. All through high school, Andy did not have a girlfriend. He didn't have a steady girlfriend. Now, his big brother, Jonathan, who's here, had a steady girlfriend. And his big brother, Jonathan, is here with his soulmate. He hit the jackpot to find not only another computer scientist, but a brilliant, beautiful, wonderful, wonderful wife who is a wonderful mother and a true soulmate for John. But in any case, John had this taken care of, it seemed, through life, but Andy didn't. And I have on good authority that Samantha did not have a steady boyfriend in high school either. And as I'm going to explain, neither of them had a boyfriend in college either, because they were best friends. Best friends. And you can just imagine, as they went to Florence together at the same time for semester abroad, we're asking, but she's not your girlfriend. Oh, no, Mom. And then when they moved in together in the same apartment, senior year in college, I could have given him a stack of Bibles, and Andy would have said in the same voice, no, oh, no. In fact, it was so bad that my girlfriends, many of them are here, my girlfriends, most of whom are judges, we have a tradition when we get together of going from person to person and giving news about the family to bring everyone up to date. And my news about the family included a report on Andy and his un-girlfriend. But lo and behold, as the two of them graduated, Andy went to Manhattan School of Music to get a master's, and a year later, Sam started at Manhattan School of Music to get a master's. They did that together. And somewhere around that time, I'm not quite sure of the circumstances, but Cupid finally hit an arrow that actually struck. I have in mind there were arrows on the ground everywhere. And finally, one hit the target. And voila, they were girlfriend and boyfriend. And we have been so pleased to see them grow and change in these years, from performers struggling in New York together after getting their master's degrees together, to finally sticking together through thick and thin. And it was thick and thin because they had some interesting experiences with very difficult neighbors and loud music through the nights. And Andy was on the road for even 9 months, but they stuck together. Andy was on, many of you know, the Cats tour, which ended in Durham, North Carolina. And this is where a bit of foreshadowing comes in, because COVID hit. It hit New York hard. They moved back to Andy's home, the guest house, the very modest guest house apartment we have on our garage, and stayed with us for 15 months, where together they came up with a plan. And the plan was to go together to get MBAs at the same school, which just a few weeks ago they did together, earn an MBA in Durham, North Carolina, where their apartment was not even a block from the theater for the last Cats performance. But to go through these changes together really tells us what soulmates they are. Not just that they have so much in common, but they can stick together through thick and thin. They can make huge changes in their lives together and thrive. So I don't have any doubt that these are soulmates who will be soulmating for a long time. And you know what I'm thinking there, of course. But I'm so pleased you're here to share our joy. But these are soulmates who are meant to be together.
It's true, when we think of most married couples, they're perhaps satisfied enough to just be married. But as Andy, your mom, has indicated, it's amazing the parallels of your lives and how you have chosen to walk those paths together. And even going forward with the new jobs at the same company. But again, as has been said beautifully, you are soulmates. You have found each other. And in many ways, you now move perhaps into the most difficult role of your lives. The role of spouse, of partner, of supporter. You know, when you do a show, you're provided with a script. You know exactly what to say. You know exactly where to stand. Married life is not quite the same. The words aren't always provided. You have to find them in your heart and in your thoughts. And each day can be a new adventure, new challenges, whether from new occupations, having to relocate, starting married life, so many things. But now you have each other to walk the path. You stand here under perhaps one of the most central Jewish symbols of a wedding, the chuppah, the symbol of the home. It comes with a covering, something over your heads, the hope that, of course, when there are storms in life, that you will be safe. But also the fact that it is open. It is open on all four sides. First, of course, so your friends and family are able to see your faces at this moment, but also so you can see them. So you can see all the people who have gathered from near and far to celebrate with you, to support you, to let you know that as you continue on this path, you do not walk it alone. But therein lies an important part of the symbolism. Because although you have all of this love and all this support, ultimately it falls to you two to make the decision. Will your home be one that is strong and resolute? Will it be one that is open to friends and family And that when those moments of difficulty come, you will welcome people to help you. Those are the decisions that you make now as a married couple. But as you go forward and you hold hands, that strength you have in your hands is important. As Harold Hill would say, cowards die 1,000 deaths, the brave man only 500. May you both be brave in facing whatever life brings your way. And may your love be strong as you continue on your path. So I mentioned 2 cups of wine. Maybe you feel it's time for a second cup. The difference in the second cup is, number one, the symbolism is different. The symbolism represents, the first one, of course, was the idea of each of you as an individual. And now the second cup, I'll just grab one of the two and invite you both to share from that one cup. For it is the symbol of the union of the two of you as you entwine your lives as husband and wife. I think we'll go talk about it. Yeah. Now, as we do, there's a few things that are involved. The blessing over wine also is part of what we call the Sheva Brachot, the 7 blessings. The old tradition is that when a couple would be married, after the wedding ceremony, they would spend the next 7 days going to various homes in order to celebrate and perhaps receive some wonderful gifts. Well, couples nowadays, of course, are not spending 7 days after the wedding going to different homes. But in that spirit, we still offer 7 blessings. Only instead of blessings from tradition, we'll hear blessings from family and friends for their wishes as you go through life. Annie, I'm going to ask you to hold that for a moment. I'm going to first pronounce the blessing, the first of the 7 blessings. I'll ask you to hand the cup to Samantha so she can take a sip first, and then you'll hand it back to Andy so he may taste of it in this moment of sweetness and holiness. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Praised are you, our God, creator of the fruit of the vine. And for our first blessing, we welcome forward Cameron. There you go.
Sam and Andy, it gives me great pleasure to witness this day. May you and Andy know nothing but happiness and all of God's blessings throughout your lives.
Hugs, hugs. Hugs, hugs.
Oh,
Hugs.
oh, I'm sorry.
How are you?
That's great.
And as I pronounce the second blessing, we welcome forward Randall. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol bara lichvodo. She's coming by a helicopter. Praise are you, our God, whose glory is revealed in creation. You want to give it a try? Or? It's a good one.
Okay, I lost my voice, so you just have to listen up. A blessing on your head. Mazel tov, mazel tov. To see my daughter wed. Mazel tov, mazel tov. And such a son-in-law like no one ever saw. The tenor Andrew Zimmerman. May your love story be like a beautiful melody, always in harmony and full of love. May you continue to create a life of happiness, love, and laughter together. Don't laugh. May you always remain best friends. May you know your children's children. May your love for each other be beyond measure.
Great. So I pronounce the third blessing. We welcome forward Harry. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ha'adam. We praise you, our God, creator of humanity.
Congratulations. My wish for you is based on Sammy and my grandparents, Ben and Muriel Wolfer, who are married for over 60 years. I hope you're happily married for well over 60 years. I hope you travel the world just like they did. And I hope just as our grandmother, Muriel Wolfer, was always in charge, Sammy, I hope you're always in charge. Mazel tov.
For the fourth blessing, I welcome forward Lizzie. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer ha'adam. We praise you, our God, who's implanted in us the blessing of life.
Sam and Andy, may the warmth and joy of this incredible day be just the first of many days full of love and laughter that you share in this next phase of your relationship. May your lives together be filled with adventure, excitement, support, good food, even better wine, and no more school. I wish for you both nothing but happiness and growth together as husband and wife. I love you.
And with our fifth blessing, I welcome forward Alex. Sos tasis v'tagel Tzion b'kibutz baneh letocha b'simcha. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach Tzion b'banecha. Praise you, our God, who allow us to enjoy a moment of sweetness.
Wow, this is an impromptu blessing, but I wish you both all the best. I know that this has been an incredible journey for both of you, from college to living together, and I hope that you live together and support each other, and drink great wine, eat great food. The rest.
You can hug them now.
Well done.
Well done. It's a work in progress. For our sixth blessing, as I pronounce the Hebrew, we invite forward Sam. Smeach tisamach, remu ahuvim, kismecha yitzircha began eden mikedem. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach hatan v'kala. We praise you, our God, who brings joy to bride and groom.
Sam and Andy, it only occurred to me a few moments ago that I was expected to have written a blessing myself. So, Samantha, as you heard me say throughout high school, I did not do my homework. But it occurs to me that the two of you have already been so wonderfully blessed with amazing family and friends, with stunning good looks, immense talent. So all I can say is, may God continue to bless both of you the way he already has, for if he does, the two of you will live a life together that the rest of us can only dream of.
And a final blessing that I offer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam misameach hatanim hakala. We praise you, our God, creator of joy and gladness, love and companionship, laughter and song, pleasure and delight, harmony and celebration, peace and friendship. Praised are you, our God, who causes joy for bride and groom. And the final blessing. Sam and Andy, may your lives together be filled with limitless joy. May your love for one another be strong like steel and soft like pillows. And may the words you speak today and every day echo like the sweetest songs and inspire you every day. In the presence of witnesses and in keeping with tradition, you have spoken words, performed rites, that unite your lives. Andy and Sam, you are husband and wife in the sight of God, the Jewish community, and all people. Two more symbols. The first being a blessing. Whenever we have a special milestone, we take the opportunity to use particular words of blessing that come directly from the Bible. They become well known, and they indicate not only the sense of tradition, but the love of the people who are present when the words are said. As I offer this blessing, not just for me, but on behalf of everyone, we also are going to wrap you in this talit, this prayer shawl, which I know belongs to you, Sam. It is an important piece that hopefully will be a symbol for you of warmth. It's like a hug as we offer this blessing for you. Okay, you guys face each other. Good. Amy, okay, do me a favor. I'm going to take that. Yeah, we're going to bring it around the side there. Good. All right. You guys, just hold the hands really tight, really strong. Okay? There's a lot of amazing love and strength there. It's the greatest gift you can give each other. So, Amy, if you would, just hold that together. There you go. As we ask God's blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Yaher Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God be with you and grant you wholeness, fullness, and the blessing of peace. And let us all say, Amen. Okay, Amy, you can pull that off. And that's the way Cantor Sherry would have done it too. One last ritual. So Andy, I hold in my hand a glass that I'll place under your foot. Many people are familiar with this particular part of a wedding ceremony. There are different rationales, different explanations why we end a ceremony with this. There's some who say it's to remind us of the past. And especially for the Jewish community, the past has not always been so pleasant. But it reminds us at this moment, here we are celebrating. We won, we celebrate, we survived. And to remind us that even in dark moments, there's always light to be found. Others who say it reminds us as we crush the glass that there is so much in our world that is broken, and so much that we have a responsibility to do to help fix everything in our world. But I like to offer a slightly different interpretation. A glass is an amazing thing. It can hold the sweetest liquids in life, wine or whatever you may wish. But a glass is very fragile. It breaks easily. So too does a relationship and a marriage. So not only do we hope that this will be the only glass that breaks in your home, but that you'll remember to treat each other kindly, gently. And so your glass will always be full of sweetness. All right, I'm going to put it down. Wait, let me get out of the way. Okay, go ahead. Mazel tov! You may kiss.